Hey folks, the Edith G. Ward Wildlife Sanctuary in Rye, New York is one of Westchester County's hidden gems. It's 175 acres, popular with bird watchers, and for folks just out for a peaceful stroll. My favorite trail runs along this brackish lake. It's very peaceful here, and with plenty of spots to stop and nature watch. And though I love the trail along the lake, I came to the sanctuary to walk its beachfront on the Long Island Sound. It's low tide now, and only during low tide does this ghost from America's nautical past rise from the ocean floor. Here in the Reed Sanctuary lies the shipwreck of the Benjamin F. Packard. From a distance, it resembles the rib cage of a giant beast stuck in the mud. The Benjamin F. Packard was built in 1883. She was a large, square-rigged cargo ship, nearly 244 feet long. This style of ship was known as a Downeaster, or a Cape Horner. They were built to carry cargo between the Atlantic and the Pacific coasts around Cape Horn. In its later years, the Packard was a salmon packer, sailing between the Puget Sound and fisheries in Alaska. Though it's hard to imagine looking at her now, the Benjamin F. Packard was once a beautiful ship. She was built with an eye for fine detail and with exquisite craftsmanship. After a long life, the Packard met her end in the hurricane of 1938. How many were lost, you might ask? Well, nobody. When the 1938 hurricane hit, the Packard was already in semi-retirement. Her last days were spent just over there, at Playland Amusement Park. Here's a picture of her docked alongside Playland's boardwalk. Notice the skull and crossbones she's flying. On her deck, paying customers could watch the pirate show. On board, they could see an aquarium and a naval museum. After years at sea, the once mighty ship found herself reduced to just another amusement park attraction. It must have been humiliating. When the hurricane hit, she was damaged beyond repair. Her last trip was a tow out to this spot where she was scuttled. And here she sits, visible only when the moon pulls the tide and the waters of the Sound recede. A stone's throw from the last dock she ever saw. But in a way, the Benjamin F. Packard lives on. Not just for the curious few lucky enough to catch a glimpse of her stuck in the sand, but for all those interested in the great ships of yore. Because the Benjamin F. Packard was such a fine ship, her after cabin was removed before she was scuttled. And that cabin now sits in the Mystic Seaport Museum. Her rich paneling, the marble and brass fixtures are on display for all to see. A memorial to the days of the great Cape Horners. I'll see you next time.